welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, hi, my name is Maya and this is a pre-recorded video for you guys. So when you guys do see this, I am in the middle of possibly in labor or recovering from having Grayson, so don't worry, videos coming soon of meeting Grayson and everything like that. But I did decide to pre-record videos for you guys while I am in recovery and everything so that you guys aren't missing YouTube videos. So today I'm going to be doing a big huge Q&A. I do know that I said that I was not going to do any more Q&As until after Grayson was born, but this Q&A is just strictly anything about pregnancy that you guys had questions on. I'm going to answer today. So on my Musical.ly, I asked you guys what questions you guys had, and I picked all of the questions. They're all right here. There are very many, so I'm going to stop rambling now and get right on with this video. So I did get a lot of questions. A lot of them were good. Some of them I did not pick because they weren't really pregnancy related questions. So if you don't hear your question in here, trust me, I just didn't pick it because it wasn't really a pregnancy question like my due date or my age and stuff like that. So if you don't get if your question isn't said in the video, I'm sorry. Don't get butthurt. Here comes my mom down the stairs to go get my Muddy Buddies, and Grayson hit my hip. That was very painful. So I'm going to be eating Muddy Buddies throughout the entirety of this video, so enjoy a mukbang kind of like video, I guess. I don't know where this video is going, but we're just gonna have fun because I'm pre-recording videos. Yay. Alright, let's hop into these questions. So this video is not 25 minutes long because, trust me, I don't want to stay up all night editing this video. So the first question that I have is, did you experience morning sickness? So I do get asked a lot of the time if I've ever experienced morning sickness, and my answer is always no. I did not ever really experience the true morning experience, thank the Lord. I think the one time that I had morning sickness was when I didn't eat anything in the morning when I got up super early, so I was like having hunger stomach pains that caused me to feel super duper sick, which I still do get today, but they aren't like to the point where I'm going to throw up or anything. My stomach just starts to hurt a little bit, but I definitely did not have any like morning sickness where I was just throwing up for no reason and all of that stuff. I never ever had anything like that. Thank the Lord. The next part. Hello, where's my head today? And the next question is, what's the hardest part of pregnancy? So, the hardest part of being pregnant is probably money or dealing with hormones. I do know that everybody says, oh, money's a big thing when you're pregnant. And that is very, very true. I never actually, like, thought about it. Like, I always thought that it wasn't, like, a big thing with money when I first got pregnant. I was like, oh, we'll figure it out and blah, 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 blah. But trust me, guys, it is very stressful to come down to the wire and having your due date be very soon and then realizing how much you don't have. I'm very thankful that I had a lot of people help us out, and we were able to get as much as we can. It probably would be so much less stressful if somebody would have hired me early into my pregnancy, but nobody would accept my applications. Like, they would not call me back or anything. I applied everywhere I possibly could in my town and nobody called me back. And that is really frustrating because I wanted to work. I wanted to make money for my kid and nobody wanted to hire me. And then hormones. It's really hard to deal with hormones because you're not used to all these emotions all the time. Before I got pregnant, I was the type of person who was like sticks and stones. Nothing would really hurt them. But then now, I could have Alan Alan could say a joke and I'll get upset about it. And it could be a joke that I never ever would have joked about. Or it would have been a joke that he could have said before I got pregnant, and I would not even cry about it. But now he'll say it and I'll cry about it, and it's kind of frustrating. The next question is, how did your parents react to you being pregnant? So my mom was very, very upset and mad when she first found out I was pregnant, which is typical. she just had to get her emotions out and everything. My dad didn't like really have an emotion because he didn't like really fully care or anything like that, because he's not really in my life or anything like that. But he didn't have like as big of a reaction as my mom did. But if you do want a more full story on how my parents react, I have a YouTube video on it. It's quite a while back. I'm thinking I might refilm it later down the road. So yeah. The next question is, how does the first session feel? So I'm guessing the person that asked this question, I'm guessing that you were asking, how does the first trimester feel? And let me tell you, the first trimester is probably the hardest. My first trimester was definitely the hardest of my whole pregnancy. I know a lot of women do say that their third trimester is their hardest trimester, but my third trimester has been pretty good. Nothing as bad as my first trimester. With my first trimester, I was so tired all the time. I had no energy. I wanted to sleep all the time. I had constant headaches. Like, it was just a miserable time for me. And it was just, I did not want to do anything productive whatsoever. I slept so much in my first trimester that when my second trimester hit, I definitely knew when it hit, because I had so much more energy and like I just was able to do stuff again. And I'm tired now in my third trimester, but definitely it is not as bad as what it was in my first trimester. So definitely my first trimester was hell on earth. So the next question is, do organs and stuff move around when you are pregnant? So I'm not really sure what happens with my organs and stuff when you're pregnant, but you don't feel them moving around or anything. I do know that your bladder, I'm pretty sure, moves around a lot when you are pregnant, and your stomach moves around, because when the baby drops towards the end of your pregnancy, you can get 10 times more hungry because your stomach is moved and you have a bigger appetite. And you definitely can tell when your baby drops towards the end of your pregnancy, because you pee a lot more. I have peed more with him dropping than I have throughout my entire pregnancy. Throughout my entire pregnancy, after I fell asleep at night, I would not wake up at all to go pee, but now I wake up at like 5 to 6 in the morning to pee, and then I'll wake up at 9 to 10 to go pee, and then I'm like up for the day unless I fall back asleep. And it's really annoying, but I'm slowly getting used to it. But definitely you can tell when certain things are moving around and stuff like that. But organs and stuff, like kidneys and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't really want to know either. The next question is, how does it feel when he moves? So when he moves around, it doesn't hurt. When he kicks, it doesn't hurt. The only pains that I get is if I'm leaned over, my ribs will hit him some sort of way, so they'll get super sore. And then the only other pain that I get is if he moves his head, since he has dropped. When he moves his head, he hits a nerve in my hip, or causes my hip to lock up and I drop to the floor, because it is obviously painful from my hip locking up. But that's basically it. When he kicks, it doesn't hurt. Now, obviously, I'm one of the very few people who do not get kicked in the ribs by their child. Grayson never kicks me in the ribs, like, thank the Lord. But it doesn't feel weird or anything when he moves. It more or less feels like your stomach bulging out a little bit when he starts to move around. It feels really cool, and you won't notice it as much if he's moving around during the day. When you're doing stuff, you won't really notice it. But if you were to lay down and he starts moving around, you'll definitely know when he starts moving, and it's fun. Aylin thinks it's the best thing ever when he sees Grayson move, because he has not seen Grayson move really at all throughout my entire pregnancy. Grayson's like very, very stubborn when Aylin's around. He does not like to move when Aylin's around. I think the only time I think Aylin's seen Grayson move in person twice now, and the rest of the times have been videos that I've sent to him. But Grayson has definitely been very, very stubborn. the next question is, how do I sleep / do you sleep well and stuff, like just basically sleep overall. So of course it is very different for everybody. I have a very small belly for being pregnant in 39 weeks. I'm still very small. Like, you can obviously tell that I'm pregnant, but you can definitely tell that I'm all baby. So obviously it's going to be more uncomfortable with a bigger belly. So if you have a bigger belly, it's obviously going to be so much harder to sleep. But for me, when I'm asleep, I'm asleep. Nothing will wake me up. Grayson kicking does not wake me up. Like, nothing really wakes me up when I'm asleep. So I sleep really well. The only times that I don't like I have trouble sleeping is when my back starts to hurt. But if that starts to happen, I have remedies and stuff to fix that. So the next question is, do you regret becoming a teen mom, and is it a bad idea to be a teen mom? So of course I wish that I would not have had a kid until after I turned 18 and I was financially stable and everything like that. But do I regret becoming a teen mom? Of course not. I do not regret having my son. My son has changed my life for the better, definitely. Before I was pregnant, I was kind of on this edge of, oh, life will take me wherever it goes and I'll just go along with it. I don't really think I have a plan for life right now. Like, I was in that stage. But the second that I found out that I was pregnant, my priorities changed. I decided to figure out what college I wanted to do, like what online college I wanted to do. I figured out my life plans. Both me and Aylin have figured out life plans together, so our lives definitely both have changed for the better. Like, we have changed so much, and you can definitely tell if you met us before we got pregnant. You would definitely tell that we are different people now than what we were. So for the second part of that question, is it a bad idea to become a teen parent? I would definitely wait until you are financially stable to have a kid, because it is very, very stressful to be a teen parent, and everything like that. Money is very hard. Like, it's just overall very hard and stressful, and being a teenager with all these teenage problems and stuff, on top of that having hormones and a baby, it's very hard work. So I definitely do suggest waiting. Obviously, if you accidentally got pregnant and you're doing this, I support you, because it's not easy to go through all of this. So yeah. The next question is, what is the worst part of being pregnant? What was the worst part of my pregnancy? Probably the worst part is him hitting my nerve in my hip, or the wait for him to come. So when you get really close to your due date, all you want is for the baby to come. Like, you want to do anything in your power for the baby to come. Like, you get so impatient. Like, days feel like they take forever. Like, it's just so difficult to wait. Like, I have been so impatient lately. Me and Aylin both have. We just want Grayson here, and that's probably like the worst. The waiting phase is so terrible. But I would definitely say that the worst part is if you've had complications throughout your pregnancy. That's probably the worst part of it all. I didn't have any complications throughout my pregnancy, except for the fact that they thought he was small and everything like that. So that was basically it, but nothing too serious and all. So the next question is, do you get really bad cravings? I get this question asked a lot, like, about my cravings. They're like, oh, what are you craving, and what weird cravings have you had, and da-da-da-da-da. So I never had weird cravings, and what I mean by that is I never had the typical pickles and whatever cravings, or mixing weird things together cravings. I've had typical cravings like a normal person would have. Like, I crave McDonald's sometimes, and I crave ice cream and stuff like that, but I don't crave like crazy stuff. I have not craved pickles at all throughout my pregnancy. I think the only thing pickle related that I like craved was the smell of pickles, and that's like it. And I hate pickles. Like, I don't like pickles anyways, so it's not really a big shocker that I didn't crave them or anything like that. So the next question is, does it hurt when your stomach Does it hurt when your stomach stretches out? You don't really notice that your stomach is stretching out. It doesn't hurt. I only noticed my stomach stretching out once in my entire pregnancy, and the only reason that I noticed that it was stretching out was because my back was super duper itchy and irritated, and that was because I had stretch marks on my back. But you don't really feel the stretching because he's not growing out super duper fast, so it does not hurt as badly. And if you keep up to date on like lotions and stuff like that to prevent stretch marks and just to help them, then your stomach won't be super duper itchy all the time. My stomach's very rarely gotten itchy and stuff, so. But overall, no, it does not hurt when it stretches out. So the next question is, what did you do to relieve back pain? So this is a really good question actually, because I have dealt with back pain so much throughout my pregnancy, especially right now towards the end. My back's been hurting so badly. So let me tell you guys my little secret. If you are pregnant and are experiencing back pain, go out and buy a heating pad with a low, medium, and high setting on it that will shut off automatically. That will be your best friend. I have not taken any sort of medicine for my back pain at all because I don't want to take very many medicines throughout my pregnancy. But let me tell you, my heating pad has been my best friend, and I will put it on my back at night to help relieve the tension in my back and everything like that, and it helps me sleep. It does. It really helps with my back pain at night, and that's normally when my back is really starting to hurt, is at nighttime right before I go to bed. So that heating pad has definitely been my best friend. So I really do recommend that. Obviously, don't put the heating pad on your stomach or anything like that, and don't turn it up to a too high of a setting. Just make sure it's comfortable for you and it's not too hot or anything. But I do really recommend heating pads if you have them. Even ones that you put in the microwave would probably help if you have one specific spot that you're trying to have help with your back pain. So any type of heating pad that you can get, just make sure it's not too hot for you. The next question is pregnancy scary? Overall, of course, you're going to be scared about things. I know I was scared about my first doctor's appointment, my first ultrasound, just everything that was brand new to me was scary. When I got checked for the first time, like my cervix checked to see if I was dilated any, that was probably the most scariest part of my whole pregnancy because I'm a very shy person. It takes me quite a while to open up to somebody, even doctors, to check me out anywhere. Aylin, like, I was so glad that Aylin was there because I knew for a fact that if Aylin was not there with me at the doctor's appointment, I would have had an anxiety attack from just being checked at the doctor's. I was so nervous to get my blood drawn because I had never had my blood drawn in my life. Like, definitely there are scary parts of pregnancy, but overall it's a very big experience. You get to experience your child growing, and you get to see his growth every time you go in for an ultrasound. You hear his heartbeat, and at the end of your pregnancy you go into your doctor's appointments every single week, so you get to hear his heartbeat every week. So it is an experience. It's more fun than scary. So definitely there are going to be scary parts because you're a first time mom, don't know what to expect, but there's a lot of fun times as well. The next question is, what is some advice you would give to a first time mom? So whenever somebody asks me for advice for first time moms, the big advice that I can give to you is do not give up on your child or give up as being a mom overall. It will be difficult. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a roller coaster. There's going to be a lot of times where you feel so alone and like you can't do it, but you gotta do it, obviously. If you don't have the father in your life, if you don't have the baby's dad in your life, you can still do it. Your child will appreciate everything you do for them at some point in their life. Of course, you gotta deal with that teenage stage, but at some point your child will look back and realize how much you have done for them. But basically the biggest advice that I can give to you is to always keep a smile on your face around your child and make sure that they're happy and healthy, because you keeping a smile on your face in front of your child will help keep your child stress-free, because you showing your emotions in front of them and you just like having all the stress come off onto them, it can stress your child out a lot. But just trying to keep a smile on your face and realize that you're having a beautiful baby and you're doing as much as you possibly can for them. That's all you could ever ask for to be a mom. So the next question is, are you going to school while we're pregnant? So I was graduated out of high school before I even got pregnant. I did homeschool for 3 years and I graduated 6 months early before my class did. So right now it's probably like 8 months now that I've been graduated out of high school. After Grayson's born and everything is like settled down and we're all used to getting into being new parents and stuff, I will be starting online college, the same course that I was going for high school, which is Penn Foster. So I will be continuing my education to be a better mom. The next question is, how do you carry the weight of being pregnant? So basically they're asking, how do you carry all of the weight in front of you? So let me tell you guys, it has definitely been a roller coaster with my weight. I was super skinny before I got pregnant. So I have never been used to carrying a lot of weight on me. I did not break 100 pounds until like 9th grade. So I never really knew what it was like to have a lot of weight in the front of me. So basically it has been a roller coaster. I'm not really like, it's not hard to walk or anything like that. It's not painful to carry him or anything. Of course my back hurts from all the weight being in the front and everything, and I'm front heavy and stuff like that. But it's not really anything different because you do get used to carrying all of the weight throughout the many months. Of course, you're not just put all the weight on top of you right then and there, which is something I don't get with schools doing the belly, pregnancy belly, because they're like, oh, this is how it feels to be pregnant and blah 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 blah, when in reality that's not really how it feels. Like after they do the baby belly, a lot of my friends said, oh my god, it felt so heavy and uncomfortable and everything like that. And I kind of, now looking back at that, I don't understand why they do it the way that they do, because pregnancy does not feel like that really at all. Because over the course of 10 months, you don't just have all that weight put right on you. It's gradually put onto you and your body gets used to it over the time. So obviously you having like 20 pounds extra put onto you for one whole day, obviously you're going to be more sore. But if you were to gradually put it on, then it's not going to be as painful. So I never really understood the pregnancy belly, because the pain of it does not really make sense at all, since I don't know if that made sense or anything like that. But basically over the course of 10 months your body definitely gets used to carrying the weight. But it definitely will be a relief after Grayson is out of me and I'm not carrying all that weight and I can finally start to try to go back to my old body. Of course that's going to be hard, but going to work hard for that. And the last and final question that I have for you guys is, what's the best part about being pregnant? And the best part about being pregnant is just feeling him move and knowing that I can protect him with my life inside, and just overall just having him here. That's probably the best thing about being pregnant, is feeling him move and stuff, especially when he first wakes up in the morning after I wake up, because he normally sleeps for like 10-15 minutes after I wake up, and then he gets up and I can feel his little tired kicks and stuff, and it's really cute. I also love, another favorite part is just being able to see Alan around when Grayson moves, and him just laying there holding my belly and cuddling up to Grayson. It's really cute, and that's probably the most favorite part of my pregnancy actually, is just seeing how Alan has been throughout my entire pregnancy. Super supportive and excited to see Grayson. Like, It really does put a smile on my face whenever he does it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys!
All the way.